Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Knows.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Though nobody really knew it, there were only 5 episodes of the Jack Benny radio show coming up. And this was originally broadcast April 24th, 1955, as Jack is going to loan his Maxwell out. Oh, for a price.
The Jack Benny Program. Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, once a week the Beverly Hills Beavers have a meeting to discuss matters pertaining to the good and welfare of the club. As we look in on them now, one of their meetings is in progress.
Now, the motion before the House is resolved that the Beavers spend their treasury consisting of $13.72 on a party. Or, instead of a party, we should put the money in the bank and save it. We will first hear arguments in favor of having the party. You, Joy, may have the floor.
I think we should have the party because they're fun. We all had a good time at our last party.
Yeah, but at this one, let's not have any girls.
What are you talking about, Jimmy? At the last party, the way you carried on with Kathy.
She did all the carrying on, Harry. I wanted to sit with the rest of you fellows, but Kathy led me into a dark corner where the lights were low.
Gee, what happened?
She ate my ice cream.
Well, I think girls are fun at a party.
I don't know. I agree with Jimmy. The last party, we fellows wanted to go out and play tag or hide and go seek and baseball. But the girls made us play post office.
Oh, boy, was that disgusting.
Look, fellas, let's decide first whether we're going to have the party or save the money. Then we can decide whether we want to have girls or not.
But if we want the party, what are we going to have to eat?
Oh, the usual thing. Popcorn, Cracker Jack, O. Henry bars, peanuts, chocolate caramels, popsicles, jelly apples, Dad's old-fashioned root beer, marshmallows, and ice cream.
What do we have for dessert?
Look, fellas, first let's settle where we're going to have the party. Then we'll discuss the details. We have heard discussion in favor of spending the money in our treasury on a party. Now we will hear from the other side.
Well, I think... I think we ought to put the money in the bank. And as the senior advisor to the Beavers, I'd like to tell you why.
Here we goes again with that. A penny saved, and a penny earned junk.
Order, please, while we listen to Mr. Benny.
Fellow Beavers, while I'll admit that parties are fun, you've got to be practical and save money. And compared to money, parties are
Inconsequential.
Yes. Inconsequential.
I-N-C-O...
I know how to spell it. Now, look, kids, don't get me wrong. I enjoy a good time, too. I was young once myself. Well, I remember when I was a kid, we used to have parties with girls and everything.
Gee, did they have girls in those days?
Sir. Now, look, fellas, if you want to have a party, I'll show you I'm a good sport. We can have the party at my house.
Good, let's have it tomorrow.
No, let's have it Friday.
No, let's have it Saturday.
Now, let's not rush into the party. Let's at least wait till it's somebody's birthday so we'll get something. How about that?
Fine. I make a motion that we adjourn.
I second the motion.
Ah, gee, it's a nice day. I'm glad we got the meeting over early so I could walk home. I love walking through Beverly Hills. Everything's so classy. Oh, there's Howard Hughes's house. So high it looks like it has snow on the roof. I wonder how much those ermine shingles cost. I think I'll take a shortcut home and walk by this bridle path. Gee, the boys were cute today discussing the party. I'll never forget the first party I ever attended when I was a kid. I met a girl there named Betsy, and boy, did I have a crush on her. And after that party, I never saw Betsy again. I understand she was busy making a flag or something. Sometimes I think that they ought to get out of the way of the man riding up on the horse there.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Why, Mr. Kitzel! Mr. Kitzel, what are you doing on that horse?
Oh, this I do occasionally for the exercise.
Well, it seems a pleasant way of working out.
Working out, yes. Pleasant, no?
Why? What do you mean?
Well, when the horse is going down, I'm going up. And when the horse is coming up, I'm coming down. And when we are coming together, it's not exactly inconsequential.
Inconsequential?
I-N-C...
I know how to spell it! Look, Mr. Kitzel, is this your horse?
No, I'm renting him occasionally from a riding academy, but he's a very... Easy, steady, Mendel.
Mr. Kitzel, the horse's name is Mendel?
Only when I'm riding him.
Oh, I see.
Now, like I started to tell you, he's a very smart horse. You know, he's been on television, in movies, everything. Oh, he does many tricks. Just ask him, Mr. Benny, ask him how much is 2 and 2.
Okay. Tell me, horsey, how much is 2 and 2? Gee, that's wonderful. He really is a smart horse.
Oh, yeah, he earns about $15,000 a year.
Say, that ain't hay.
To him it is.
Yeah, gee, he's a nice-looking horse. First time I've ever seen a horse with a mustache. Mr. Kitzel, a horse is an amazing animal. It's so huge and tremendous, and yet the hair from its tail makes a thing as delicate as the bow for my violin.
Steady, boy. He didn't mean you personally. Well, I got to be galloping along.
Okay. It was nice seeing you again, Mr. Kitzel.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hi-ho, Mendel. Away!
clever horse that was. Who'd ever think that Mel Blanc could count up to 4? Well, I better be getting home.
Is that you, Mr. Benny?
Yes, Rochester. Any mail or phone calls?
Both. We got a bill from the phone company.
A bill from the phone company?
Yeah, for the month of May.
But this is only April.
It's for 1954.
We paid that in August.
That was 1952.
What happened in 1953?
They took the phone out.
What?
That's the year we used carrier pigeons.
Oh, yes. But I had to stop that. Everybody in Pershing Square knew my business. Well, I think I'll go in the library and read a while.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mr. Wilson is here to see you.
Don Wilson, where is he?
Asleep in the den.
Asleep? Well, I'll go in and see him. Look at him lying there. It's the only room I've ever seen with wall-to-wall flab. Hello, Don.
Boss, he must be dreaming about something to eat. He's got his thumb in his mouth.
What?
Right up to the elbow.
Yeah, I better take it out.
Want me to answer the phone, Mr. Benny?
Yes, please, Rochester.
Mr. Benny's residence.
Hello, Rochester. I'd like to speak to Mr. Benny. This is Sammy the drummer.
Just a second. Oh, Mr. Benny, it's for you. It's Sammy the drummer from your orchestra.
Oh, thanks. Hello, Sammy.
Say, Jack, would it be okay if Charlie Bagby missed the band rehearsal tomorrow?
Why, what's the matter with Charlie?
Well, he hasn't recovered from the accident he had on the fishing trip we took to Lake Mead last week.
I didn't know he had an accident. What happened?
He fell off the boat and disappeared under the water.
Disappeared under the water?
Yeah, we couldn't find him. We tried everything. We even baited a hook with a bottle of Old Crow, hoping he'd bite on it.
Gee, that ought to have trapped Charlie. Huh?
It didn't, though. All we caught was Frank Remley.
Wait a minute. Remley didn't fall in the water, too, did he?
He wasn't even on a boat. He swam in from Los Angeles.
I knew he could do it. It's wonderful to see Frankie do the Australian crawl across the Mojave Desert. Well, we'll try to rehearse without Bagby. So long, Sammy.
Goodbye. Oh, by the way, Jack, I want to thank you for lending me that thing the other night.
Oh, that's all right, Sammy. The next time, don't part it in the middle, you know. So long. Say, Rochester, I'd like... Where did he go? I wasn't asking you. Oh, Rochester.
I'm in the kitchen.
Oh. What are you doing?
I'm oiling the garbage disposal.
Why does it need oiling?
Because we've had it 5 years and haven't disposed of anything.
Look, Rochester, that's the trouble with...
Want me to answer the door?
No, I'll get it. Oh, Mr. Sandman, let me finish my dream. The one on the island, I'll keep it clean.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Dennis. Come on in. How you feeling, kid?
Fine. I came over to ask you a favor.
A favor?
Yeah, I'm on my way to buy a new suit, and I thought maybe you'd help me pick one out.
Dennis, you're a grown man. Surely you ought to know how to pick out a suit for yourself.
Well, I don't.
You don't? Haven't you ever bought a new suit before?
Not since I worked for you.
Now, wait a minute, Dennis. I pay you a good salary. What do you do with your money?
Oh, I've been saving it for a rainy day.
What?
In California, that can break you.
Look, Dennis.
Last January, I had a float alone.
Now cut that! And stop with those jokes about rain in California. We need rain. If it didn't rain in California, what would happen to the crops?
What are you growing this year?
Rice. Now dry your feet and let me hear the song you're going to do on the show Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Come on, you can accompany yourself on the piano in the den.
Hey, when did you get that big overstuffed sofa?
That's Don Wilson. Now go ahead and sing, will you?
And while Dennis sings, we'll take a break. April 24th, 1955, Jack Benny on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I'm Wyatt Cox. This is Classic Radio Theater. More of Jack Benny, April 24th, 1955.
Dennis, that was very, very good.
A lot you know about singing.
Oh, be quiet.
I thought it was good, too.
Oh, Don, you're awake. No, Don, I can't understand why you came over to my house to sleep.
Well, Jack, that was really an accident. I came about something else.
Oh, what was it?
Well, I read something in one of the trade papers that might interest you. 20th Century Fox is making a big CinemaScope picture, and they're looking for someone...
A leading man?
No.
A leading man?
No,
a leading
Jack.
man?
No,
leading
Jack,
man?
Jack, they've
a leading
already
man?
got a leading man.
Oh.
They wanted me, but I didn't have a new suit.
Dennis, stop, will you?
Well, here, Jack, I brought the column over with me. You can read it yourself.
Let's see. Production is being held up on one of Fox's epics because the time of the picture is the early 20s and they are unable to locate a very vital prop, a 1923 Maxwell. Mr. Zanuck will pay handsomely to anyone who can supply such a car. Oh, boy, that's the model I have, a late 1923 Maxwell. Am I in luck?
What are you going to do?
I'm going right over there with my car. Oh, Rochester!
Yes, Mr. Benny?
Get the car. We're going over to 20th Century Fox Studios.
Fox Studios? With pictures I thought we were Oscarspiel.
It's not me they want, it's my car. Come on, let's get going.
Yeah, but what about my suit?
We'll drop you off on the way to the studio. You want to come too, Don?
No, I'll just stay here and sleep.
Okay, come on, Dennis. Let's get in the car. Dennis, what kind of a suit do you want to get?
Well, something with 2 pair of pants. I can wear them both at once like my friend does.
Your friend wears 2 pairs of pants at once? What's his name?
Mendel. He's a horse.
Oh, yes, I met him this afternoon.
He counts better than I do.
I know. Come on, get in the car. Okay, start the car, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
I wonder if this causes smog or if smog causes this. Try it again, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
I wonder why it won't start.
Uh-oh, it's my fault, Mr. Benny. I forgot to put in the clutch.
Rochester, where are you going?
To get the clutch.
Now, look, stop with the jokes and start the car, will you?
Yes, sir.
There, it's going. Now turn here, Rochester, and then go straight down to Pico.
Yes, sir.
Well, say, Mr. Benny, look behind you. There's a kid on a bicycle hanging on the car, hitching a ride.
What? Look, Sonny, that's the most dangerous thing anyone can do. Didn't your parents tell you to be careful when you're on a bike and never to hitch rides on cars? Now let go.
Okay, mister.
Mr. Benny, you should have let that kid hold on.
Why?
I'm embarrassed. He just passed us.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And the conclusion of the Jack Benny program, April 24th, 1955, follows these important messages from your favorite station. This is Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. I'm Wyatt Cox. This is Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of the Jack Benny program, April 24th, 1955.
Hey, look at that!
What?
Up in the sky, that blue and gray pigeon with the thing tied to his leg.
No wonder Claudette didn't come to my party last year. She didn't get the invitation. Everybody from Pershing Square was there, but no Claudette. Oh, Rochester, pull in at that filling station on the corner.
What for?
I'm going to have the car filled with gas.
Oh, boy, this is exciting.
Dennis, keep quiet. And Rochester, after you get the car filled up, we'll drop Dennis off and then go to the studio.
Gee, boss, the gateman let us drive right into the studio with the car.
Yeah, he said he'd phone the producer, Mr. Kearns, to tell him we were coming. That must be him over there signaling us to stop. I mean, are you Mr. Kearns?
Oh, yes. Are you the man with the car?
That's right. Here it is.
Oh, wait a minute. This won't do at all. We want a Maxwell. And on this car it says Lincoln.
He was the first owner.
Now, don't be so funny. That's a Lincoln hubcap we found, Mr. Kearns.
Oh, well, then why are you using it for a door?
Because it fits. It fits. It's a 1923 Maxwell.
Oh, yes, so it is. So it is. Well, now, Mr. Benny, let's get down to business. Will $50 be all right?
Only 50? Make it 75 and it's a deal.
Oh, that's a lot of money for renting a car, $75 a day.
A day? I thought you wanted to buy it. Yeah, I think 50 is a fair price.
Oh, good. Now, I'd like to hear how the motor sounds.
Rochester, start the car again, will you?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good.
By the way, Mr. Kearns, what are you going to use my car for?
Well, when the picture opens, we see a shot of this car driving down the street, and Marilyn Monroe is sitting in it.
Marilyn Monroe? Rochester, the radiator blew its cap. See if you can fix it.
Well, the motor sounds okay. You can turn it off. Now, Mr. Benny, if you'll just sign this paper, we'll consummate the deal.
Okay, but what else are you going to do with my car in the picture?
Well, in the final scene, we're going to run it off a 1,000-foot cliff.
My car? You're going to run my car off a cliff?
Yes. You mean it hasn't already been done?
Certainly not. And I can't agree to a deal like that. This car's been with me so long, it's almost part of me. Gee, if this car were run off a cliff, it would be like me being pushed off a cliff.
That's a deal you should discuss with Warner Brothers.
Well, your deal might not be too bad. I think that I might consider...
Jack! Oh, gosh, I've looked all over for you.
Why, Don?
Claudette Colbert got your invitation. She'll be at your party Saturday.
Well, what do you know? The pigeon finally made it. If it gets back in time, we'll have squab. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, through carelessness, a fire could start. A fire that could claim your life and the lives of your children. Don't let it happen. Be on guard constantly against fire. Make sure every match, every cigarette is put out. Always check the ashtrays before leaving the house or retiring for the night. Observe all fire regulations. Remember, only you can prevent fires. Thank you.
Hold still, Mr. Benny.
Look,
Please, Mr. Benny, don't talk till I'm finished taking your temperature and your pulse.
Now, look, Jack, you better not move or you'll disturb the splints.
How was I to know when the car went over the cliff I'd have to be driving it? But some people won't do for money. I think that's the silliest thing Hello? Oh, now, wait a minute. Well, okay, I'll be there.
Who was that, Jack?
Fox Studios. Tomorrow I do retakes. Good night, folks.
I commented for years that final Jack Benny program that aired in May of 1955 did not sound like a farewell show. And there's a reason. Nobody knew it was a farewell show. It wasn't until after the show aired that the American Tobacco Company decided they didn't want to sponsor the radio show anymore, that Jack would just continue plugging for Lucky Strike cigarettes on television. And yes, in later years into the 60s, the transition would be from American Tobacco to State Farm Insurance. So yes, I will mention that. But yeah, Jack didn't even know during the last show that it was his last radio show. There would be another show in 1956, a Christmas special, and we'll talk about that another time. April 24th, 1955, Jack Benny on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater, we turn to our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com for another episode of the lovable old boys, Lum and Abner. This episode from pretty near the end of their run, April 24th, 1953, as Lum decides to put a library in the store.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I don't get Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge.
Hi there. Dick Huddleston speaking. Well, sir, last night, old Lum almost arranged himself a nice date with Miss Frederick, the schoolmarm. It was going to be a quiet, romantic, evening in the secluded atmosphere of Luke Spears' lunchroom. But Abner got the idea it was Lum's birthday and arranged a big surprise stag party for him, also at Luke's lunchroom. Well, it ruined everything, of course, and Abner's over at the Jot 'em Down store this morning still trying to apologize. Lum, I've told you 1,000 times I'm sorry.
Let it go. It's done over now.
I thought it sort of nice of us to give you a surprise on your birthday.
Yeah, but I told you it weren't my birthday. I never was so embarrassed in all my life as when I walked in that restaurant with Miss Fredericks and all you fellers jumped up and started singing Happy Birthday to you and hollering Surprise, surprise.
Well, it was a surprise, wasn't it? Miss Frederick looked surprised, I'll say that.
That weren't surprise, that was embarrassment. Whilst she never said nothing, I know good and well she must have been embarrassed half to death. All them men down there and her the only woman in the place, and I know she figured I put you up to it.
Why would she think that?
I don't know, just would. Granny's, I doubt if I ever get her to go out with me again.
Ah, she'll get over it.
I doubt it. Granny's here, I planned all day how I could get to be alone with her so as we could sit there and have supper by ourselves. Even had Luke Spears stay open an hour late so as I'd be sure there weren't nobody else there. And you little varmint.
Now, Lum.
You had to go and invite practical the whole town over there to watch me.
It weren't the whole town, just 10 of us fellers. Your best friends.
Might just as well have been the whole town.
Well, you can take over for supper some other time. What's wrong with tonight?
It's a school night. She don't go out during the week.
She went out last night.
Well, she thought that had something to do with school business. That's what I had Cedric tell her over the phone.
Well, why don't you try her for Saturday or Sunday then?
Well, that's out, too. She always goes to the county seat on Saturday and studies there at the library. And Sunday, that dad-blamed Frank Foster generally has a date with her to go Kodaking.
What's a school teacher doing studying at the library? Ain't she supposed to know all that junk by now?
Well, she's studying for her M.A., she says.
Her M.A.?
Yeah.
Why don't you let her more study for herself?
Her M.A., I said.
You don't have to spell things out for me.
I ain't spelling things out for you. That's what
I've
they call...
heard of mamas helping children with their lessons, but I never heard of a young'un helping her mama study before.
Abner, that M.A. means some kind of a degree you get for graduating from college.
Oh, I see. Well, now, to be honest, Lum, don't you think her mama's a little old to be going to college? Here she is sitting in class with a bunch of young'uns while her own daughter's teaching school. Doggy, that's funny.
Abner, I'm trying to
Reckon why she wants to go to school at her age.
Abner, will you hash that up for a few minutes and give me a chance to explain this to you?
Go right ahead.
Studying for a M.A. means studying for a degree. She's trying to get a degree.
A degree?
Yes.
You mean a degree like you get over at the lodge?
Oh, for pity's sake.
She might as well give that up right now, Lum. I don't care how many colleges she graduates from, they'll never take her into the lodge. They don't take women in the lodge, Lum. You know it.
Of course I know it. This ain't got nothing to do with her mama. It's Miss Fredericks herself.
Well, it won't take her neither. Neither her nor her mama can get in. You might as well tell her before they go any farther.
Abner, they don't want to get in the lodge.
Well, they can't take one of them degrees without joining it, I'll tell you that. Lum, we've got rules in that lodge that says no women.
I know the rules of the lodge.
Yep, she better forget that, Heidi. Just stick to that and about going to college. Reckon how long it'll take her mama to graduate?
For goodness sakes, ain't you got this straight yet? Let's just forget about her mama, if you don't mind.
It's all right with me. But recollect now, she's going to be your mother-in-law, and you better not be forgetting her. You want to get on the good side of her, don't you?
Go on, keep talking. Get it all out of your system.
Lum, I'm just trying to help you. Lum, me, you don't want to leave that poor old woman sitting in there at that library all by herself, studying away. More likely don't know a soul in there. Just too bad we ain't got a library here in Pine Ridge. Then Miss Frederick could bring her mama right here and be near her.
Are you done talking now?
Yeah, sure.
Well, Abner, in the first place, Granny's, wait a minute. Maybe you've got a Heidi there.
Why, of course I have. Her mama could room right over where Sister Simpson's with her. And
I don't mean that. I mean about having a library here in Pine Ridge. That'd keep Miss Fredericks from going in there to the county seat with Frank Foster every Saturday. Granny's, we could do it, too.
How?
Get a long table and set it right over there. Get a green lamp for it and some chairs around it, and Miss Fredericks could sit right there at the table.
Why, sure she could. Yeah, that's a good idea. And I'll get Elizabeth to do the cooking for you.
Cooking?
Yeah. Ain't that what you want the table for? So you and Miss Frederick can have a nice, quiet supper with just her mama along?
Of course not. I just want the table to read on.
Well, that's nice, too. But it wouldn't be no trouble for Elizabeth to cook up supper for you. I know she'd be tickled to death to do it.
Well, that's mighty nice of her. I appreciate it, but...
Hey, I'll call her up right now. Just get
Abner, get back down there now. Leave that telephone alone. Let me talk to you a minute.
Yeah, well, I had better find out what you want to eat first. Or to get Elizabeth to make one of them chocolate pies of hers.
I don't want no chocolate pie.
Hey, wait, just a minute. Let me get a pencil now. Get a pencil and paper here and write this stuff down so I won't forget it. No chocolate pie.
Abner, we just want to study.
Yeah, well, that's all right. No hurry. Go ahead. Study about it as long as you want to. When you make up your mind, let me know, and I'll set it down here. Now, she fries chicken off a good long.
I'll be dead blame. You get something in your head, and nobody couldn't jar it out of there with a stick of dynamite. What do you think I'm getting all them books in the store here for?
I don't know. I'll tell you what you could do with them, old Lum. You could put in a library. We ain't got none here in Pine Ridge.
A library?
Yeah, well, it does sound a little ridiculous, I admit, but after you think about it a while, Lum, well, you'll see it's not such a bad idea.
Abner, what do you think I've been talking about all this time?
Well, I don't know for sure. You seem to be getting a little mixed up today. I still believe that library idea's a good or no, even if I did think of it.
Well, I'll swan to goodness.
See, Lum, that way Miss Frederick wouldn't have to run into the county seat every Saturday with Frank Foster.
That's just exactly what I've been talking about all this time.
Why, no. You was wanting to get Elizabeth to cook up a batch of victuals for you and Miss Frederick. Don't you recollect?
Let it go, let it go.
Oh,
yes, sir, we can do it. We can put in a free public library right here in the store.
Why, sure we can.
You know, that'll make a good impression on Miss Fredericks, too. She'll see then that I'm interested in reading books and getting better educated and stuff like that.
Why, sure it will. I knowed you'd see it my way.
Granny, she'll be over here at the store all the time then.
Yeah.
I can help her find the books she wants and sit here and talk to her and stuff like that. Put her books back in the shelves for her again she gets done reading them and all. I don't want her lifting them big, heavy books.
We're going to have big, heavy books in there, huh?
Oh, sure. Big uns, little uns, all sizes.
Good.
Granny, I'll show that Frank Foster a thing or two. We'll have her over here all the time. Pine Ridge Public Library. L. Eddard's librarian, or whatever they call him. And I ain't going to give Frank Foster no card, neither. He can just get up his own library.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. Are you figuring on being the president of the library?
Well, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. I reckon so.
Well, as long as I studied up this idea, well, looks like I ought to get to be something in it.
Well, you'll have a big job in it, too. Don't worry about that.
Well, good.
You can keep the books straight and stuff like that.
Well, good for me.
Fact is, I might let you look after the library during the week, and then I'll look after it on Saturdays and Sundays.
You mean when Miss Frederick is here, huh?
Oh, well, I reckon it does work out that way, don't it? Just a coincidence, I reckon.
And then I'll stay here during the week while her mama's here, huh?
Her mama? For pity's sakes, Abner, can't you get that out of your little flea brain?
Well, I thought that's what the library was for, to help her mama study.
Abner, if you mention that idea again, I'm going to whop you right on top of the head. I said Miss Fredericks was studying for her M.A.
Well, quit spelling it out, Lum. Nobody's going to hear us talking about it. I won't tell nobody or her mama's so ignorant she still has to go to school. Honest, I won't.
Look, Abner.
After all, she's your future mother-in-law now.
Abner, if you'd have been listening to me, you'd have known by now that you're talking about a different thing entirely.
Well, I don't see what the difference is. But if we're going to put in this library, and I still think I've got a good idea there, there's just one thing I hope.
What's that?
I just hope her mama knows how to play checkers.
Checkers?
Yes, sir. I'm going to have to stay here all week with her by myself. I'm going to run out of stuff to talk about by the second day. See, if you get about in a checker game, well, you don't have to worry about what to talk about. The fights you get into takes care of all that talking, John.
Look, Abner, for the last time... no, I give up.
Give up?
Yeah, I can't think of nothing else to tell you.
Can't you think of nothing? Not one single thing?
No, sir. I'm whipped.
Oh, now, Lum, you can surely think of something. You just ain't trying. Think hard now and call it out, and I'll set it right down here.
Set what down?
What you and Miss Frederick want Elizabeth to cook for your supper.
Oh, my God.
All I got down here so far is fried chicken and no chocolate pie.
Aye, Granny, that settles it.
Hey, wait a minute, Lum. Where are you going?
I don't know where I'm going, but if I stay here, I'll go plumb stark raving mad crazy.
Yeah,
sir, I believe there's some pesky little old thing that's bothering that Lum. I just wonder what it could be.
I don't think it's a thing. I think it's a who. Lum and Abner, April 24th, 1953, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Again, thanks to Ted at RadioMemories.com for making these shows available to us, fully restored in wonderful clarity. You can acquire these shows or a lot of other shows by visiting Ted at RadioMemories.com. He supplies shows on cassette, CD, or on flash drive for your computer. RadioMemories.com.
Our country was founded by men who had faith in God and who were willing to endure hardship and sacrifice for the sake of that faith. In these troubled times, there is need to support a way of life based on the enduring principles of religion, which knit the family together, make for good citizenship, and build the character of the children. The religious institutions in your community need your interest and support, so take an active part in religious affairs. Your pastor, rabbi, or priest will give you invaluable family counsel and aid if you're a newcomer to the community. To face the problems of the future, America must be morally strong, and that moral strength comes through worship and faith. Go to church this week and take someone with you.
And we hope you will take just a moment to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All 21 hours of Classic Radio Theater each and every week is available at my webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. Stream our shows. Learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. Find information on websites that carry our shows via podcast. You can find our social media links, and you can also buy me a coffee that helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and keep our distribution channels up and running. That's at classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in, and tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.